in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows. There's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy folks, welcome to HT's EDC. Just gave you a quick panoramic of what I'm sitting out in this morning. Luckily on the front porch it is nice and dry, but we are having a nice little monsoon out here this morning in the stone. Opening day actually of, we've got a buck only deer hunt that this is the second year that they have instituted it here in Arkansas. They give you a 3-day opportunity for the bow hunters to get out there and take a buck. It's a buck only hunt with archery, and it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Shout out to Lefty. I have seen him this morning. He has already sent us on our little text group, chat group, some pictures. He is out there in a tree in this morning, and buddy, man, I salute the dedication. But yeah, that would not have been a good recipe for me. Wet ground, slick wet ground, and me, that is not good bedfellows, if you will. So I forego the opportunity to get out there this morning, and we sat it out. But I did have a little inkling of, maybe getting out there behind the house or something. I have a ground blind here, but it is just a soggy mess, and I just decided to wait till the end of the month. Regular bow season comes up in about another 3 weeks. It opens here, so this is just a little 3-day hunt they give you. Chance to get a deer, a white-tailed deer in velvet, for my hunters out there. Know what that means. But honestly, my opinion, it's too late even for that. If they truly wanted to let us get a buck in full velvet, it'd have been about a month earlier, because my opinion, by this time of September, about 80% of the bucks have already went to hard horns anyway. But I digress. Got to clean my glasses real quick. Hang with me. Walking out here, I had to go to the back porch in this mess because I had left my tripod out on the back patio where I normally shoot at. And done got my got raindrops all over my spectacles here. There we go. I can see again. But anyway, we're here. We're dry. We're on the front porch, and we're going to get one in this morning. Cheers. Good old ice cold Coca-Cola Zero, get us started. Well, as promised, yesterday I started a new open tag, and it is called Show Me Your Grails. And we'll get a little more into that here in just a second. But again, as promised, I have Grail number 3 that I was able to acquire in 2025. I got this knife in about now 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. It's been this week, earlier this week, and been waiting to do a video on it, but it is coming up. We have it here beside us, and we are going to get into that in just a minute. But we got to show our what you toting really quick. And hallelujah, this is day 14 This is the last day of the old, as my wife can't stand me calling it, the ramen killer. It is a little inside joke that me and her have. But this is the Ozark Trail Valor Tonto. I have been carrying this knife every day now for 2 weeks, and this is the last day. Hallelujah! Not hallelujah that, you know, it was a total. I hated the time that I used this knife, because that's not the case. I will do a synopsis video on this coming up, but we still got to use it today. I got to tote and carry this all day today. But the reason is I need some variety. I think I said it a couple videos back. I am so tired of carrying one knife. I had just came off of the Richter challenge where I carried the same knife for 30 days. Maybe I took a week break, and then like a dummy, I self-imposed doing this for 2 weeks. So I can tell you, I know there's some more challenges and stuff going on out there, but HT is looking for some variety. I am going to get back to, I'm at least going to take a couple, 3 weeks of a break or something before I'd even think about something like that. But anyway, we will turn this envelope around here, and I'm just going to show some regular, well, there I go again. Got to try to keep my personal inflammation off of this, getting out there. But I'm going to do something just that everybody does with a knife. And if I can get up under it here, and just use it to open some mail. Voila. So, yeah, modern, urban setting. Who doesn't use their knife, to open up mail? That is just something you would do. And here's some old mail inside. That's junk mail, obviously. I don't need. And yeah, still in an urban setting, still cutting, again, I can feel some degradation in that blade. It is not as sticky as it was, when I tuned it up on day 7. I can feel it starting to, go away. Yesterday, I didn't cut a whole lot yesterday. It was a pretty easy day with it. Opened some plastic packaging. I don't think I cut up any cardboard yesterday. Maybe cut an apple. But as you can see, it'll still open mail. It'll still slice some mail. Still has a good working edge. But day 14 of this, we will talk about it. Do a video and do a synopsis video on that thing. Give my final thoughts. And accompanying that today is the old new HT Red Bigfoot knife. That is what is in as our companion knife today. Has a little easy open notch there. Has the blade cut out, so it is easy peasy to get out. Nice spear point on this. And yeah, nice little pocket dropper. And that is what we are pairing up today with the old ramen killer. Ozark Trail Valor. So, one more swig in. Show us your grails. I want to make something crystal clear. I thought I tried to kind of make sure of it yesterday. I put it in my description. But if you are a content creator, or just somebody, I had some people participate just down in the comments, and I welcome that. This ain't just for content creators. Hit us up in the comments. Tell us your knife story. I may take some of them if they're really good story, and I talk about them here, on air, on the show. So if you're not a content creator, give give us your knife story and what your Grail knife is down in the comments. Like I say, you may see it show up, you know, if it moves me or I think it's a good enough, you know, knife story, we may talk about it on the channel, because you know, you don't have to have a knife channel to have a cool Grail and a cool Grail story. But the point I want to make is, I've showed some fairly expensive knives, at least on the secondary market so far. My first two, and this third one, it's pricey knife for most people. Would call it a, you know, definitely not a budget knife. But do not think, as a creator, you can't join in this because, man, I don't got no fancy knives. I ain't got a Grail, you know, to show. Nobody want, you know, that ain't my thing. It has nothing to do with money, with a dollar bill. Nothing. These so happen to be ones that were expensive that I was chasing, that I had to wait till the time and the money was right for me to attain them. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care if your Grail knife is a case trapper that your grandpa used to carry in the 60s. And you finally got it. You always wanted it. You seen Granddaddy use it, cutting this, cutting that as a boy. And, you know, it got passed on to you at his passing. Or better yet, before he passed, you know, he just handed it to you and said, here you go, grandson. I want you to keep the lineage, you know, keep it going with this knife. It don't have to be, it can be a $10 knife, folks. It don't have to be hundreds of dollars. So do not think you can't participate in this because your knife ain't good enough or fancy enough, or I don't got nothing that costs no, you know, blah, blah, $100. That's not what this is about. I know I'm beating this to death, but if it Grail does not equate money. Grail means special. That you had to, it took you forever to get this knife, hunt it down, track it down, or you had to wait for it, you know, from Grandpa. It's special to you, and you wanted it for a long time, and now it's in your possession. Hopefully I can't be any clearer than that. It ain't about a dollar bill. So please do not participate because you don't think you got a fancy enough knife. That's not what I'm after. That's not the stories, you know, that we're after here. We want to hear those stories that were passed down. Do you get it? You know, I feel like I'm beating it to death, but I've seen a couple of comments, you know, oh, you guys and your fancy knives, you know what I'm saying? I would be ashamed to come on, you know, I ain't got nothing like that. It ain't about the money. Hopefully I can't be any clearer. Please show your knife, and if it was a Grail, if it took you a while to get it and you got it, we want to hear about it. So anyway, there's that. I just wanted to I ain't gonna beat that to death no more, but if you ain't got it by now, you ain't gonna get it. But it ain't about a dollar bill. So without further ado, my third and probably final knife of 2025. Right now, honestly, folks, I don't have a Grail. There's nothing that I am chasing. I'm trying to think where I don't lie to you. There's some knives that have popped up I would probably go for, but these are three knives that I've showed that were on my radar. I had them, like, you know, wrote down. Man, don't forget, you know, I am trying to attain these knives and finally got them. I can't think of anything right now that I got to have that I am in the hunt for. I could be wrong, but I can't think of any. This was the third one that was out there that I've been chasing. And this one has been probably a 2-year chase that I've really been hot and heavy on this one, that it popped on my radar. And there has been a couple of times that I could have tried for them, but I see them just a little too late, or the bid on them just runs up too high, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying that. But anyway, this one, it was an eBay purchase. So I'll tell you where I got it. And honestly, this knife only shows up a handful of times a year. It's a pretty rare bird. Number one, they don't show up a lot, and B, when they do show up, they usually run them up crazy money. And I am talking about this. This is the Buck knives made by Camillus. We'll get that out to start with. These were kind of like all of Buck's slip joints from back in the day. They do make some of their own slip joints now in-house. But when Buck first got into slip joint knives, not the lockers, Buck 110, Buck 112, all the fixed blades, but when they got in the slip joint market and wanted to have some knives with their branding, they commissioned Camillus knives to do so. And this one is no exception. This was made by Camillus for Buck. So, this is the 5-inch, as you can see there on the blade, Granddaddy Barlow by Buck Knives via Camillus Knives. But yeah, you guys already know, Mr. Buck. I have wanted this knife, BIGGUN 5-inch. This is a Hoss. Checks all the boxes, folks. Favorite brand, check. HT BIGGUN, check. Vintage, check. I mean, check. This one does it. And yeah, was finally able to get this on a eBay auction, and luckily the bid didn't run up too crazy. There's a funny story to it. The guy on here, I know he's going to be watching. He cost me a couple of extra quarters because, unbeknownst to me, I probably the final person that bid, kind of right toward the end, and ran this up a few quarters on me, was one of my knife buddies. So, and we didn't know it. After the fact, I showed a picture of this knife to a few of my buddies, and like, man, that was me bidding against you there at the end. And I'm like, but I mean, who would know? You wouldn't know that. No fault of his. We both saw an awesome knife, and he's trying for it, and I'm trying for it. But anyway, it didn't get ran up too crazy for a change, and I was able to get this thing, and yeah, I couldn't be happier. There is a story. I'll tell you where these came from. These were like a SFO, a special order for Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And from the research I've done on these, I believe there's a yellow Delrin. There's like 3 variants of this knife. They call it the 331, the Buck 331 Granddaddy Barlow. But as you'll see, there is some oil on there. There is no model number on this. This was specific. There was a reason for that. These were special factory orders from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Camillus made it. Camillus made these for Buck, sent them to Buck. Buck put them in their packaging and sent them to Smoky Mountain Knife Works as a special factory order. And from the research I've done, and if there's somebody out there, I am welcoming you. I am asking you, if you have more information on this, put it in the comments, because it is very rare. I've read a bunch of threads. I've studied up on this as much as I could. There's not very many videos. I think there's one video from Warthog. Shout out to Warthog. Great channel, old school pioneer for us knife tubers. A lot of us owe that man some respect. Him and a few others paved the way for us guys now. So shout out to you. But he has a video. The only video I found on one of these was Warthog, and he has the yellow Delrin one. He showed it on his video. Well, there is a yellow Delrin. There is a yellow saw cut Delrin, black saw cut Delrin, and this one in jigged bone. And I know the saw cut ones were like $900, And somebody said they don't even think they made as many of the bone. They didn't even do 900 in the bone. That this one might even be a little more rarer of a bird. But let's just say they did. There was 900 made in each variant. So 900 yellows, 900 black Delrons, and maybe 900 bones. And I've always wanted the bone. The ones that usually show up, and I think there's one on eBay right now, one or two, and they're up around the $200 mark. Is what they're asking for them right now for the saw cut yellow Delron. Which, don't get me wrong, I love saw cut, I love Delron. But man, if I'm on my chase, I've been chasing this thing 2 years. I wanted the bone, and look at that bone, folks. And I got the bone, obviously. Excuse me. But yeah, these were a one-time run for Smoky Mountain Knife Works, the Buck Granddaddy Barlow. Of course, you have the elongated bolster here with Buck right over here, and you have Buck right over there on both sides. So awesome. And the seller on this called this red bone. I see, if you guys remember the old case brown bone or whatever, the case brown bone, and right around the edges it would have a little hint of red to it. This is kind of like that. The only thing I wish that was different with this whole kit and caboodle was I didn't get a box. So I kind of finally settled. It didn't come with the OG box, but this is untouched, unsharpened. This is totally mint, but without the box. And that's probably why, it wasn't up there $200, $300 like they usually are. I did not get the box, but I said, dadgummit, this is my time. I see bone, which like never comes up. Usually they're the Delron ones. Dang it, here is a bone. It is mint condition, untouched, but it don't have the box. Just maybe I can get it for some not ridiculous price. And obviously I did, but I didn't get the box. And I tell you that to tell you this. On the box, and I've seen the box because it's on Warthog's channel. I wondered, what did the original box look like? And if you go watch that video, Buck Granddaddy Barlow by Warthog, he shows the box, and it just says 00331, the model number. That's not on the knife anywhere, but I guess for tracking SKU purposes, they had to give it something, so it's called the 331, and it just said JB, jig bone. To me and my wife, we have looked this thing over. I would call it a dark brown bone, and it does, in the right light, you can see some hints of a little reddish to it, but predominantly it's brown bone. And I'm out here under my front porch roof here, and we're not going to have a lot of lighting, but maybe you can see right up here. It's kind of like the old, if you know the old case brown bone. There's, in the right light, it has maybe a couple hints of some red, but the guy said in his listing, red bone, Buck Barlow, but I kind of disagree. I wished he was right. I was hoping when it got here it was redder, but it is more brown, just a dark brown, almost black. But anyway, I don't care. I wanted the bone. And it just says on the bottom, don't say even RJB like red jig bone or BJB. It just says JB for jig bone. So you tell me what the color is, But anywho, check out this walk and talk, folks. Look at this. Look at that wall. I don't get myself cut here. It's there. I mean, a snappy, centering, good, back springs, perfect. It's mint. it's mint. Like I said, would I like to have the box, the whole kit and caboodle? I would, you know, for like resale purposes. But I'm gonna tell you, folks, don't even. I will be. This one will be passed down to hopefully one of my grandkids one day. This in here, or somebody breaks into my house and steals it. This one will die with me. So, you know, it won't be resold. You smell it? You smell me? You picking up what I'm laying down? This one will either be passed down, hopefully, or it'll be with me till I'm not here no more, and then it won't matter anyway. I done hopefully went home, you know, not hopefully, I'm go home to glory, but this won't be resold. So, resale value, Jimmy Crack Corn, I really don't care. I got the knife, I got it like I wanted it, I held out for the one I wanted, and yeah, I mean, has the old school, of course, hammer, you know, hammer and anvil, beating the knife, the old school shield, brass liners, just not much else to say. Just tickled. As a buck collector, this is one I have highly sought after for the longest, and the stars lined up. So that's what I got for you. That is Grail number 3, probably third and final. Like I said, there's nothing else on my radar right now that I just gotta have. There's no more knives out there I'd like to have, but you understand, Grail, when you use it, I mean, I am looking constantly, searching for a knife like this. I am constantly looking, you know, go to this site and punch in Buck Barlow to think, oh, they ain't got no. You get me? This has been on the radar. I have actively searched this out for years and kept looking for these. And I don't really have anything else like that. They say there's some obviously, I'm a knife guy. There's knives I'd like to have, and if they popped up, but just, you know, I'm not consumed with them and tracking them and looking for them constantly, like a folding hunter. Yeah, do I put folding hunter in, you know, just to see what's out there? Yeah, all the time, but a specific one, you get me? So third and final probably for 2025, and it has just been a heck of a year. Like I said, this one and the other two that I've got this year, they were 2024, 2023s where I struck out. I've been wanting them, you know, it's just 2025 has been my year for finally tracking down my Grails, and I'm stoked about it. Pretty cool. But anyway, we're at 27 minutes. My apologies. We're going to get off here. Please join in this, creators. Do not, like I say, all knives are welcome. We want those stories. We want to see some unique knives, some cool knives, and more importantly, chop it up about them and hear why they are a Grail to you. That's really what I'm after. And one more thing, Tim's School of Fish. If you're watching me, you probably watch Tim, way bigger channel. His daughter right now could stand our prayers. She is hospitalized. Tim has a video talking about it. I behoove you to go watch his video. I'm not going to sit here and butcher it. He explains the whole situation, but he has a daughter, a dear, precious little, you know, daughter of his that needs our prayers right now. So if you don't watch that video, you don't subscribe to him, say a prayer for Tim's School of Fish, his daughter. She needs it right now. So that's a shout out to the prayer warriors. And Tim, love you, buddy. And we are thinking about you and your family and that little girl. So that's my challenge for you folks. Send one up for Tim, and I believe his daughter's name is Miss Haley. So send one up for Haley. Love you guys. I'm HT. God bless.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torch It's a sight to see.